G'day guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do round 17 tipping. It's been a bit, so let's get into it. So last round we'll do a review. I guess Brisbane will win by 8, but they ended up winning by 5, so pretty close margin. I tipped the Dogs to beat North and it worked out pretty well. I tipped Sydney, but Fremantle got the job done by 1 point. Well done, Fremantle. Gold Coast beat Collingwood. I tipped Gold Coast. Adelaide beat Giants in an upset. I didn't think that would happen. And then I tipped Geelong to beat Essendon. I tipped Essendon to beat Geelong. It didn't happen. And hold on. So, it was Saturday night. I thought it was Friday night. St Kilda, I tipped them to beat Port Adelaide. They didn't. Tipped Carlton to beat Richmond. Easy tip. And I tipped Hawthorn to beat West Coast. Another easy, obvious tip. So now that we've done that, I got a 5 out of 9. I won't go over the tipping comp for this round because I'm on the game. Because I do tip on 2 apps. But anyways, these are going to be my tips for this round. So starting off with Friday night footy with Collingwood taking on Essendon. And look, it's pretty obvious one. Essendon haven't been as good as they were for the first half of the season. So I'm going to tip Collingwood. But it'll be a close game. But I think Collingwood will get away in the last quarter. And Collingwood will win by 25 points in a big clash. Moving on to Marvel Stadium on Saturday morning. Gold Coast take on North. It's probably going to be the only away game Gold Coast will win this season. And I reckon they'll get the job done by 5 points. Look, they have a lot of good players. Ben King, what's his name, Anderson. A lot of players. They've been having a good season, the Suns. If they win this, they definitely should make finals. But there's still, after this game, they'll have 6 weeks to go to chill out and hopefully win a few of their last games to secure the 8. But yeah, Gold Coast should beat North by 5 with former North winning 1 out of their last 5 and losing their last 3 games, and their last 3 games have been pretty close losses, but I reckon Gold Coast will get it done. Moving on to the Adelaide Oval, watching the Power take on the Bulldogs. I'm going to tip the Bulldogs just because their form has been much better, winning their last 2. The Power did lose by 76 to Brisbane at home, which was pretty flattening to watch. And the Power have only won 2 out of their last 5, compared to the Bulldogs 3 out of their last 5. And I reckon the Bulldogs will win at the Adelaide Oval by maybe 17. It'll be close, but the Bulldogs should get the job done. Moving on to GMHBA Stadium, Geelong Hawthorn, big rivalry, but I hate to say it, Hawthorn will win this one. Now, as you see, Hawthorn, with their form, have won their last 5 matches. Geelong have been in horrible form and only have won 2 out of their last 5, and only one of them being by 45 points, 40 plus points. Obviously, Hawthorn have looked much better on paper for the last 5-6 weeks. They should have beat the Power, they choked. But look, it should be a pretty easy win for Hawthorn if they keep up this form. Coming off a win by 61 to West Coast. Geelong coming off a win by 45 to the Bombers. It should be a pretty good game, but I'm going to say Hawthorn to win by maybe 17. It should be good. The Giants take on the Baggers. It's pretty easy to tip. I'm thinking the Baggers. And just like the Hawks, the Carlton Blues are in staggering form, winning their last 5 games to Giants, only winning 2 out of their last 5. As you know, Carlton have been very good as of late, beating Richmond by 61 points, and a couple of weeks before that, going on and beating the Power by 36. Obviously, they've definitely rebuilt their season from where they were. They weren't playing as well just earlier this season, but they've turned it around and it's too easy for Carlton. They should win at NG by at least 30 points, I would imagine. But who knows? The Giants could put up a good fight. Moving on to Optus Stadium on Saturday night, 6:10 p.m. time slot. Fremantle take on Richmond. Should be an easy tip. Fremantle all the way. Now, as you know, Richmond lost by 61 points to the Carlton Blues last week and have only picked up 2 wins to Sydney and Adelaide Crows. As you can see, Fremantle is a much better side on paper, just beating top of the table Sydney Swans by a 1-point thriller. Fremantle have drawn 1, won 3 and lost 1 out of their last 5. So Richmond only winning 1 out of their last 5 and only winning 2 for the season, rather than Fremantle being 3rd and Richmond 17th. I'm going to go for Fremantle to win this one by 67 points, a smashing at Optus. They're just too good, Fremantle, I hate to say. Moving on to the MCG, Sunday morning, 11:10, Melbourne versus West Coast. Melbourne will win, but I reckon West Coast will get close. Now, as you can see, Melbourne have only won 2 out of their last 5, having horrible form for this season, but I can't really say much because West Coast have lost their last 5. Although they have beat Melbourne this season, I will say that Melbourne should get over the top of them by a close game, 20 points, because Melbourne are in horrible form. The Eagles will play good for their only game at the MCG for the season, and they will only trail on the final siren by 17 points. Moving on to 1:20 with St Kilda Sydney. Pretty obvious, top of the table Swans should batter the Saints. As you can see, the Saints have only just lost by 2 points to the Power, but Sydney have only just lost by 1 point to Fremantle, both losing their last 2 games, and both losing their last game by a pretty tiny margin. But you can't really take anything out of it for Sydney, because in 2022, Fremantle ended Melbourne's win streak, and it was a 10-game win streak. And this year, they ended Sydney's 10-game win streak. So they're just the gods of breaking 10-game win streaks. So watch out, if you've got a 10-game win streak and you're versing Fremantle the next week, it might be ended. But look, Sydney, top of the table, they have an 87 win rate this season and 97% have tipped them. Saints are bottom 4, Sydney are top 1. So Sydney should get a win by, let's say, 27. Final game of the round at the Gabba, Brisbane Adelaide. Pretty obvious, I'm tipping Brisbane. Now, their form, they've won their last 4, winning to Melbourne with a beautiful kick from the boundary for the Brisbane Lions, beating Melbourne by 5. And Adelaide have only just won to the GWS Giants by a tiny bit in 16 points. 97% have tipped Brisbane. And Brisbane have a 53% win rate this year compared to the Adelaide Crows 33, which is obviously much dominated by the Brisbane Lions. It should be a pretty easy win for Brisbane, but you could see Adelaide coming in hot and getting maybe a draw like last time. But I see Brisbane getting the job done by 23. I'm just going to say thank you all for watching this video. We are back with the tips. I just uploaded a re-upload of my Swan Districts vs South Fremantle vlog because it got deleted. But yes, I am back. I haven't quit. Thank you for watching this video. Might stream the Euros on Friday night and Saturday night. The double header on both nights. We will see. But other than that, we'll see you soon, guys. Have a good one.